The following is a paid program brought to you by
Social media and creative services.
Welcome to Tech for Geek, the show about technology. In today's episode, we'll talk about project management and cloud-based applications.
ClickUp is what we call a project management tool, and its main objective is to help the team achieve their goal and meet the client requests on time. Merlin Forms, Microsoft Outlook, and MS Team will still have a role to play in our workflow, and ClickUp is not meant to replace any of those tools. ClickUp's role is to help centralize information gathered from those applications in one place, making it easier to share project description, files, overall status. ClickUp or any project management tool are also very useful for management to track project status, flag issue, and help prioritize workload for each employee. I just want to reiterate that currently management expectation regarding using ClickUp is adding basic information regarding your project, adding the URL to your Google Drive location, start and end date, and the status of the project. Everything else in this presentation is meant to showcase how we can use full advantage of ClickUp in our workflow and have better cross-collaboration. Hi, so I think the best way to approach this is to go from the beginning, go through each of the steps from creating a task, assigning a task, and how we use the advanced feature in order to cross-collaborate. That would be a good way to explain some of the advanced feature of ClickUp. So right now we're still using Merlin as our main way of initiating a project. My understanding is that currently we're working on getting one form for the two teams, but at this point in time, this is the form sent to creative services in order for us to create a ClickUp task and initiate a project. So Joanne went into the inbox, received this request. She basically took the information that Lori sent via the Merlin form, copied the information, went into ClickUp, and then created a new request. You can go here, new request, or click at the bottom. Now you paste the information. And don't worry, you don't need to know everything I'm doing right now. I'm just showing you so you're aware of the whole process. Currently, the idea is that Guillaume and Joanne are going to do this and assign it to an employee. But at least you get to see the whole process. Here, we created the form and then create a task. So there's multiple ways of receiving a task. And, right now, my preferred method is disabling all emails and going into notification. So here I could see that Food Fraud Valentine was assigned to me. I get comments. So I know that there's a new project for me to go to. Or another way is going into your task and making sure you filter your task in order to see what is assigned to you. So you go into the task on the top left, search my task. I know I just realized it's a lot of tasks everywhere. The reason we use the word task is because ClickUp assigns a project as a task. In order to keep consistent with the terminology, we use the word task. So if you go again, search my task, and now you can see a lot of people, right? So you just want to make sure that currently you're set to show task assigned to me only. Very important. So now I can go here and I can see I have a new project that's called Food Fraud, and this is the one we use for the project. So I'm going to open up the task and show you how we use this task to cross-collaborate. Let me show you a bit how to navigate through the ClickUp task and show you some of the advanced features that were utilized for this project. So as you can see here, you get all the information, who's tagged, the hashtag that social media is going to use for Sprout. In this case, it's Food Fraud and Valentine's Day are the hashtag used for social media. I have my start and end date. I have the project description with the description provided by Lori for this. This was originally the text to be used. And then we went down and then Joanne filled up all the requirements here, all the information for this project. Very important to put all the information here, your client, the date, and the tagging, because this will allow management to create report at the end of the year, right? Like, this is nothing new. It's not extra work. We used to use the spreadsheet. It's just now it's in a different format. It's just the layout is different, but it's not like we're asking to do more than just adding it through ClickUp instead of Excel. These are more advanced feature that I personally like to use. I like to use a subtask. Mostly in the production, what happened is there's multiple steps involved with multiple parties, like translation, approvals, voiceover, and the project can be put on hold for like 6 months. I can't remember where I was with a project, so for me, it just makes it easier to keep track of all the subtasks. Furthermore, like if I wanted to, let's say I don't have time to finish this project, I wanted to send that off to another video editor. Well, by sending them this task, now they can come in and see where I was with the project, right? This is a very easy way. It's like a checklist. Like, did you do the storyboard? Where's the translation? Another advanced feature is actually to your subtask is assigning people. The reason I did the assign to each of the subtasks is those people would get notification. So remember I showed you earlier like how I went on my bell icon and then I can see this task. Well, now, in this case, Jean-Guy will get a notification regarding food fraud and that translation is in progress. Right now, if I put that in, I think he's actually completed, so I'll put done. So now he's going to get a notification that the translation is done. So another great feature I'd like to talk about is the chat feature inside ClickUp. It's a bit like MS Team, or if you had like a group, Facebook group where everybody's commenting. So all the comments and discussion regarding this project will be kept inside the Food Fraud Valentine, in this case, on the right side. So you'll keep track of all the communication that was done regarding this. It makes it way easier to have everything centralized with the task and subtask and document information. So all the information relevant to this project is still here. Just to show you in contrast, if I look into the email that we received just for this project, so I'm using this application to go through the comment, and then I need to go and read through all the emails just to capture the information I need, right? In contrast, if I look here, well, everything here is regarding the Food Fraud Valentine, right? So I don't need to go through my email and trying to look for that information. Another great feature of the ClickUp comment section is that you can easily share files and comment on that. So for example, if you look at my original comment, I shared my storyboard, for example. You know, it has this cool preview feature where you can go in and quickly view what the file is, right? And I made sure to tag Madison and Joanne to get their feedback. Just to show you quickly how I did that is I went into the Google Drive for my project. You know, in this case, I had my concept here, and I did everything using the Google slide. Simply right click. I'm sure you know how to share a Google document. You copy the link for your document and you simply paste the link and create embed. And then ClickUp, what it'll do, it generate a thumbnail and have a quick way to preview your file, which is pretty amazing because it just facilitates the whole sharing of information, right? So once I shared my file, and because I tagged Madison and Joanne, they got that bell notification again. If you go here, you can actually see we engage into a conversation, all of us. And Joanne had a great point. She's like, hey, don't make sure to add diversity to your characters, right? Like, oh, that's a very good point. Because everything is inside the same task, I took that information, created right away a subtask. Please ensure to have diversity and mark that as important and assign that to myself. So this is just to show you a quick way how you can interact quickly and share information inside the chat log. Right, I shared videos here. You can see the whole history. If I open up André, shared his, and if I open his, you see here one of the comments during the presentation was, hey, you shouldn't be putting silhouette during, because you don't want to be specific. This could be a gay couple or hetero, whatever. So we just remove the people in the slide, right? So I added a comment, and here you can see on the right side we can have a whole conversation with the same image, removing again all the email chain. Now this is another great feature of ClickUp chat log, right? Another thing I'd like to point out is really the documentation section. We've put a lot of effort into this. Like if you don't want to reach out or you just want to take time for yourself to learn the application, we documented a lot of the process right now. For example, like terminology. You're not sure what a task or a subtask is, right? So we go through the whole process and explain each of the steps of ClickUp and how we set it up. We even have like tutorial on how to do this kind of tutorial I'm doing right now, right? Everything is documented here. So you have a tutorial section, but there's also a documentation section. You can see right now, like I've tried to separate them by a team. There's a social media. I literally take the information from the item and I copy paste it here. So this way, again, everything is inside one application and it's easier to track. Until we get a better alternative, because right now SharePoint is horrible, I thought this would be a good place to put documentation and share stuff as a team. The main reason I love ClickUp for this is actually if I go here and I have a task. Let me show you quickly. I have a task to do. And let's say I had a subtask that's like, hey, you need to do voice recording. And I'm like, I don't know how to do voice recording. I've not even done that in the past. Well, if I go on the top right here, I can simply put voice. And I go into documentation, voice. Oh, look at that. There's something regarding voice recording. So you can see all the documentation relevant. I even have how to record using a Samsung. So if I go on it, I click. And then right now it's very limited, but you get the idea, right? You can quickly search what the task and the documentation relevant to that task. So, like there's a lot of effort put into this, and the idea was really to help out people when students come in or have a place where we can quickly search stuff. And again, like if you have like requests, like simply put it in, just add it here like, hey, I'd like to have documentation on doing such and such, right? And eventually we'll work on it and try to populate this as much as possible. And if you have anything, just send it my way. Honestly, I'll be more than happy to add it here. Right now, I'm trying to consolidate everything we have into one location. And once we have a better system, if it's SharePoint or Maryland, then we'll transition. But for now, I think this is a good alternative. A way to use ClickUp would be, don't see it as trying to replace Outlook or MS Team, because they're completely different tools, right? So Outlook, the conversations are mostly external with client, official, CFIA emails. View ClickUp as a project management tool, which is really for anything that's currently being worked on, right? So what I do in the morning is I open up ClickUp and I go into my notification section here, and I go through all the notification and make sure, if something is assigned to me, if I need to take action, I can quickly see it here. And then I go through my task again, and I can see, because right now I have them filtered by date, I can see I have a few projects that are overdue and what are coming up. I wouldn't get that information from Outlooks. They're completely two different tools. The same way MS Team is more of a casual chatting, is not the same as the chat feature that's inside ClickUp, right? Like the chat feature inside ClickUp is specifically regarding this project. So don't see it as trying to compete, but a different tool with a different purpose.